Honourable Member for Bass. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise this morning to make my contribution on the matter of public importance around prioritising the safety of Tasmanian children through the Commission of Inquiry. And I want to acknowledge victim survivors, advocates, whistleblowers, friends, family, people in the community that were able to bravely give voice to the Commission, and also those that are not yet able or may never be able to give voice to their experiences. And for those no longer with us. Yesterday, I was overwhelmed by this process and by, the experience that we have shared through the bravery of others. And this morning, I gave a commitment to myself and to the community and the people that have given so much for this to be very measured in my responses. But I'm really angry. I'm really angry that through the Premier and the ministers and the government, that very simple and very clear questions that people have given all of themselves in some cases and so much of themselves in others, have not been met with a genuine commitment or the respect of simple answers to simple questions. And that, I think, where everyone hoped and that there was an air of hope around this report and everyone wanted to back in and work with this report with optimism and positivity, that it feels like that's being shattered with this defensive position of the government. And for any day of all days, for any issue of all issues, this was the one not to be defensive. And I just want to respond directly to the most immediate speaker, and I'm going to quote straight from the report, because I think the Commission and the Commissioners have done such incredible work. I'm really disappointed that their work was hampered, actively or through process, and I'm really disappointed that that the fullness of their work, that the work that they wanted to do, that they were unable to do. But I want to quote them. Page 29, I'm in volume 1. Again, overwhelmed, so many volumes. I haven't read the entire report. I don't know that it's physically possible to have read it yet. But you didn't have to go far to get the tone and the colour of the Commission's findings and recommendations. So I'm on page 29. We're at 6.2.2, the decision to close Ashley Youth Detention Centre. We support the Tasmanian Government's decision to close Ashley Youth Detention Centre. We consider it is not fit for purpose as a youth detention facility and should be shut down as soon as possible. We also welcome the willingness of the Tasmanian Government to fundamentally rethink the youth justice model in Tasmania to one that is more evidence-based and therapeutic. The current model is not working for staff, for detainees or for the broader community. We were disappointed that there are some indications the Tasmanian Government is reconsidering its previous announcement to close the centre by 2024. We hold grave concerns for the safety and wellbeing of all detainees at the centre. While we acknowledge that the process of replacing Ashley Youth Detention Centre is complex, we consider the closure of the centre should be treated with great urgency. Now, that's not what we heard from the Minister just now. The commitment was made 2024, and I gave myself a commitment not to interject and not to quip and not to... But there was a quip just earlier that said you can commit to delivering a stadium in a certain time frame, but you can't recommit to this. Yeah. And you can't be honest about what's in the report. Yeah. You can't... Today, of all days, it says... Close with a matter of urgency. They are disappointed that they felt that you were reconsidering your previous commitment to 2024. Do your job. Do what's right. Respond with the respect and the gravity that it is deserving of the work that has been done and what has been given through that bravery by so many. Now, what I wanted to actually read in my contributions today, for those that don't have access to the report, that are, and I've spoken to some people over the last 24 hours that are just not physically able to read the report. It is hard and it is heavy, but it's real for so many. But I wanted to outline the overall conclusions. Has the Tasmanian Government's response to allegations and incidents of child sexual abuse in institutions since 2000 to the 2020s been adequate? Too often, no. Are Tasmanian government institutions safe for children and young people? Generally, yes. Does the Tasmanian government have the right systems in place to effectively address risks and respond to incidents of child sexual abuse in institutions into the future? Not often enough. Does the Tasmanian government have a culture that encourages feedback, reporting, monitoring and reflection when responding to incidents of child sexual abuse? No, not enough. I think I think in reading this, you get a sense of what currently exists and what we, and as a previous speaker has said, what we collectively hold responsibility for, but what this government absolutely have the resources and should have the willingness and the commitment to deliver on. But in one of the key reform recommendations, 4.5, it talks about showing greater care, compassion and investment in protecting and healing marginalised children. It says, we were at times shocked at the lack of care and sometimes outright hostility extended to certain groups of children and young people, particularly those in the care system and in youth detention. Children in the out-of-home care system described being ignored, neglected and stigmatised by services in the broader community, despite being in particular need of love, care and support. And we've reinforced through question time this morning, and I had the minister not stood and required that I actually read in what was true in the report, I would have gone through the details here and reinforced that there has been no reconciliation of information received by people who may be carers in the out-of-home care system or working in other government institutions, and as a result, we are concerned that there may still be people working with children who are subject of child sexual abuse allegations who have not been investigated. We asked for a commitment to the audit. There is so much to this. Government, please do the right thing.
Member's time has expired.